So what is 50 at 60? Well, it was a project, a goal of traveling to all 50 states in 1 year, the year that I turned 60. And presently putting together some of these episodes and these travel stories, almost a year later now, actually. I'm about to arrive into my 24th state. To kind of bring you up to date, we're going to be in New York by the time this episode ends, and if I ever get it started. I want to mention that I was inspired to use this song by a video that popped into my feed. I'll show it to you here, and I'll try to remember to do a link to it below. Been to Paris several times myself, and really saw it in a new light here. And I'm thinking about how much work I'm putting into my videos here. And maybe I should have just tried a simple approach like this. Anyway, watch it and let me know what you think. So as we unfold my day here, as you remember from the last episode, we had to cut this thing short because it was up around a half hour, and I tended to go off on a few different tangents, as I always do. The plan in today's episode is to head down into or through a town called Williamstown. It's a college town there in Massachusetts. Eventually winding my way up into the Mount Greylock State Reservation area, sorry. A gorgeous fall drive, and make a couple of stops up there before heading down to head to a place called Stockbridge, which is really close to where the Norman Rockwell Museum is. I spent a little time there before heading out and taking a scenic drive and ending up in Hudson, New York. If I haven't said it enough, thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy some of the scenery.
I'm making a left-hand turn on Latham Street. I'm just trying to get a feel for Williamstown. It's obviously a college town that seems really clean and vibrant and pretty, especially this time of year. A little pop of color on the left. What kind of tree is that? I guess it's a maple, right? Sugar maple? These look like fraternity houses, although they don't have any signage designating them as fraternity houses. A college that's this big really keeps a town alive, you know? It becomes the town. Not sure what the history is to this town. Has it always been a college town? I don't know. What about Williamstown? I guess it's time for maybe a little voiceover? What do you think?
Williamstown. Yeah, it's a college town. It was built around Williams College back in the late 1700s.
To take
People
things
here
out of
are
their
just
comfort
really
zone.
willing to support each other.
Faculty's the best part of the school.
Apparently one of the oldest liberal arts traditional colleges in the country, I believe. At least my loose research has told me that. There we go. History covered. Can we move on now?
You can't capture it in words, but there's just something.
Oh, look at this. This is so cute. What a cute little street. Spring Street Market and Cafe. You know what? I should stop for a sandwich. Or as Frank would say, a humongous sandwich. You know, I think I'm going to. What is my rush here? Well, I say that to the guy behind me.
So I turned this on to say 100% of all the buildings are inhabited. But I spoke too soon. I just passed one that it had paper on the window, but it said, "We're remodeling." Other than that, it's pretty thriving here. What a cute little street. I'm glad I stopped there. And Frank, I got a sandwich. And by the weight of this bag, it certainly feels like a humongous sandwich. All right, next on the list, we have the Mohawk Trail. I know nothing about it, but here we go.
Well, actually, after I recorded that, I realized that the Mohawk Trail was actually on the other side of the mountain, or on the wrong side of the mountain of the direction that I wanted to go. Gosh, I don't even know if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm beelining it at this point to an area called Mount Greylock State Preservation Area. And I'm not driving as fast as this footage will show. This is obviously a hyperlapse. It's got a camera mounted to the windshield. It's taken I don't know how it does it. It takes an image every so often, puts it together. Of course, I'm filming it through a filthy windshield, which, well, it's not really a great idea. It's good for these moments where we're trying to bridge the gap. Note something. Note the gradual color change. I don't know if you noticed at the very beginning, there was a lot of greens. And as we are going uphill, which you can't really tell from this footage that we're climbing, and you'll see the colors change from a bit of color downtown to the solid yellows and then the oranges and, well, eventually the browns up top and the bare branches. It was really pretty. But anyway, I just noticed that gradual color change was happening. When I looked at this video, I thought I'd kind of point it out. Anyway, we're about to arrive at an area called the Fitch Overlook. And I took a bunch of clips from up here, a few images, some time lapses, and had a chat with a few people as I was sitting there waiting to collect the footage. It's a gorgeous afternoon, and again, just one of those days that you just appreciate where you are. After this stop, I picked up and went a little further. It was called the Summit, an island above the clouds. And I don't know too much about this. I should probably at this point maybe do some research and tell you what it was. I guess this is actually a memorial tower. War Memorial Tower we're looking at here. Let me see here. Veterans War Memorial. So apparently, I'm going to just read a couple sentences here. It says, "Welcome to the peak of Mount Greylock, the highest point in Massachusetts and the focal point of the state's first wilderness park. Greylock Summit is an unusual and fascinating natural environment shaped by mankind into what is both a recreational park and a place of remembrance. Rising above the summit is the state's official monument to her fallen soldiers. The tower stands at the center of a landscape designed by the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, in other words, in the 1930s. Discover clues to our past while enjoying the splendor of Greylock." Let me tell you something. What I just read there, first of all, I'm not a good reader. Second of all, there's like 5 misspelt words in this thing, which is kind of odd. Anyway, I walked around a bit, and I was trying something funny here. I did like a little hyperlapse. I'm sure I've shared it by now because I read a lot of stuff there. Had to have a little bit of filler. Anyway, I did a hyperlapse of me going up the stairs, have some footage from up top, and that's it, I guess.
Well, that was worth it.
Well, after that, I took a nice drive, another scenic drive down the hill. I had a hyperlapse going, but I also had a video of the entire ride. And I could leave that here, but it's like 10 or 15 minutes long. But let me just pump up the music a little bit, and I'll just show you some highlights as we enjoy our ride down the mountain.
systems. That's really important to protect hospitals, wastewater facilities.
Let me tell you something. Not to politicize this, but to keep politicizing it. No, just kidding. I'm really grateful for our governor. You know, I personally think he's doing a kick-ass job. He's getting way in front of this storm, and yeah, that's my opinion. I voted for him, and I'm happy he's our governor right now. You can't prevent these storms, but you can prepare for them, and you can react quickly. And from what I'm hearing, man, he's saying all the right things. I'm still praying for those in harm's way, though. We are well on our way to, what is it, Stonebridge? Where am I going? I can't remember the name of the town. It's because I enter it in the phone and I forget about it. The reason I'm going here is because it's a cute...
1 mile, turn right onto US 7.
Supposed to be a cute little town, but also because the museum for the Norman Rockwell Museum is supposed to be here, and it's supposed to be very cool. And like I said, back in my hotel, his son had a little exhibit of, well, we talked about that before. Anyway, I'm almost here. It's been a nice day, no rain, nice clouds out, beautiful color. Life is good. So this is a pretty cool museum. In addition to his pieces, they had a whole other exhibit from Mad Magazine. Actually, 2 rooms full of Mad Magazine stuff. I don't know what this is. What do you think? Oh, text in, let us know. It's pretty, whatever it is. I should probably read the signs. It's amazing how I could have driven around so many different areas. And it's peak or past peak in some places and barely getting started in others, and then this one's lost almost all of its leaves. So this is his studio, where apparently he painted for 21 years. Oh, it was moved to this site. Gotcha. So this was in Stockbridge, and it's been moved. We're close to Stockbridge. We're just a bit of a ways out. Oh, look, you could take a virtual studio tour. I think I'll screenshot that and share it. And that's this framed print that I bought. It's probably my favorite one in the whole museum. So this is where they put the studio with this amazing view. Look at this. Let's expect deer to come scampering across the meadow. There's a river down there. Or a lake. Probably a river. Gosh, it's so peaceful here. Except for the noise in the tent. Alright, I'm going to go to... I think we're going to drive by the Red Line Inn next. I think. After I photograph the back of this tree. Look at this cool little building. I'm walking back here because of the chirpy sounds. I don't know where they're coming from. Are those real birds, or is that coming out of a speaker? don't know, it's either an elaborate gag for me or there's real birds in there. So I am in a town called Stockbridge, and I came here for the Stockbridge Cafe. No, just kidding. I came here for the Norman Rockwell Museum, and I just wanted to see what the town looked like. Kind of wandered around. Went into the general store, bought a couple things. Battery's almost dead in this thing. I just want to say I went in that little country store. Or, yeah, it's called the country store. And I was asking her about the flooring. I says, boy, this looks like original flooring. How old is this, do you think? And she's like, well, the building was built in 1820. I'm like, what? So some of the ceiling and the floor is original. Some of it was redone. 1820. Anyway, thought that was kind of cool. Bought a couple things. And over there is the Red Lion Inn that I wanted to see. I'm not going in because I got to head into Hudson. I got to figure out where I'm staying tonight. I'm about to start my New York section. I'll be there for a couple of nights. Small town called Hudson. I don't know if this is going to be one episode or several, because I did a lot of rambling today. We'll have to see how much of this actually stays in the vlog. What an amazing ride today. And went to a lot of places. Had a great day today. It's kind of nice making a list like that. First thing in the morning, this is what I want to do. This is the plan. I put them all in a list, and then I kind of searched on the map app where they were relative to where I was, and then I put them in what seemed to be a good running order. And I modified it a little bit as I went, but it seemed to be probably a good way to explore instead of trying to plan too much out, a week out, you know. I plan day by day.
Well, I originally did a closing here from the car, and I realized I had some, I had just had some driving clips here that I thought were kind of pretty. They weren't epic, and they're a little bit noisy if you really pixel peep a bit. I just want to mention something as I'm putting these videos together. I'm really enjoying this next phase of my life. Certainly the last year of traveling around the country and putting these videos together. And one of the things I really like about it is I'm learning so much. I may not be getting any better at editing these, but I'm learning a lot. I'm actually learning a new program now called Ecamm Live. I'm doing some live updates on my channel. There's so many things to learn, and I spent the better part of the morning learning some, some new gear, new techniques, that sort of thing. I am rambling. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate this moment in my life, and I'm grateful to have been able to do the traveling I did last year and see, pretty moments like this here. Beautiful light in the sky. Anyway, like I mentioned, I had finished my few hours there in Massachusetts, and I'm ready to begin my New York section. I think it's possibly State 24, and I spent it here in a place called Hudson. Checked into a place called the Wick Hotel. Here's a couple of quick pictures of that, and did a little walk in the evening before I kind of abruptly ended my day without a proper closing. I don't know, we'll just take it out to me rambling here in the street at night, by the way. I was crossing my fingers that it was safe there. It obviously was. I'm still here. All right, thanks again. Enjoy. I'll see you on the next one.
Let's look at the real estate here. Secluded country mini estate. $549,000. That's not for me. Oh, there's a meticulously maintained home. 6 private acres. $729,000. I just saw a fixer-upper for $279,000. Passing a place called the Half Moon. And I ate at a place called the The Farmer and Son. It was really good, actually. Look at this place. Looks like it's ready to fall down. A little spooky. Off to the right is the Amtrak station. So Hudson has a station here. I don't know if this goes into Penn Station or Grand Central. And the funny thing is the guy that worked in that restaurant didn't know either, and he's taking the train. So I thought that was kind of odd. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with the street. Looks like a work in progress. I hear this town's cute. Warren Street, I think it is. Union, one of them. I'm going to drive around tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay here 2 nights. I'm going to move on. I'm either going to go over to the Catskills tomorrow or stay here another night. Or go to the Catskills and stay here another night. I would have never guessed it. A Trump bumper sticker on the front door. Would have never guessed that. I think this whole town is in a state of rebirth. That's my observation after being here for like, I don't know, an hour and a half. I had a really good dinner. I had half a dozen oysters and a steak that had little round potatoes and like marbled potatoes, small ones. I don't know what that noise was. I think it was an animal getting into the trash. And some kind of onions that I never had before. They're very sweet. But a steak, medium rare. Man, it was good. A light sauce. I guess I'm safe here. Anyway, this is the hotel. It's called the Wick. And I was going to eat here, but I wanted to try something different. I'm parked downstairs. I'd love to know what this place used to be. I'm going to find out. Anyway, that's it. That's all for tonight. I'll see you in the morning.